Good morning. Guys, I am sporting blue today, this morning, because it is in honor of my 21-year-old Owen Lejean, my oldest born son, who is graduating from McNeese State University today. There is no way on God's green earth I could be any more proud of this young man. Started at LSUE as a high school junior, while also on the baseball team full time. Still maintained higher than a 4.0 GPA, and has always from the time he was little been a hard worker, diligent, consistent, full of grit, and there's no way I could be any more proud of him. So today, he's only been at McNeese for 3 years. He's graduating with his bachelor's and with a couple of minors, I think one in chemistry and one in math, but graduating with his bachelor's, and he is already employed with Citgo in Sulphur as a chemical engineer. And, you know, I thought when he went off to McNeese 3 years ago that pretty much every summer, pretty much every weekend, he would come home. And he did not, because he studied and studied and studied. And anybody that knows anything about engineering, and especially chemical engineering, knows that it is a difficult degree to get. But not only did he pursue his bachelor's in that, he also got a bachelor, 2 minors, one in math, one in science. But I had this epiphany a couple of weeks ago when he knew he was getting to the end, and he knew he had passed all his finals. I guess this was last week, and knew that he was going to graduate and that he was going to do it. And he said, "Mom, I didn't want you to know this, but there were many days that I didn't sleep but a few hours, because I had so much studying to do, so many projects to do, so many deadlines to meet, and I was so stressed." And it broke my heart, because I'm so proud of him. But, you know, it just goes to show, you know, he would tell me every semester, "Mom, you wouldn't believe how crowded the campus is at the beginning of every semester." And then give it a couple of weeks, and it's not nearly as crowded anymore. And especially the fall semester of every year. The fall semester of every year, he said, just the sidewalks were packed, the yards were packed, every place was packed, the cafeteria, just the buildings were packed. But give it 3 weeks, and everything settles down. Lots of people quit. Lots of people drop classes. Lots of people just decide that it's too much work. And you know, for him, thank God, I've never raised my children to decide if something's hard to quit. Listen, everything in life that's hard, that's difficult, that comes with sacrifice, is for a good reason. If every single thing was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? And so the thought of quitting never one time crossed his mind. He knew it was going to be difficult. He knew he was going to have to give it all. He knew there were going to be days that were going to be absolutely awful. But the thought of quitting never one time crossed his mind. He didn't have a backup plan. And if you haven't, go check out the story called Burn the Boats. He said, "Mom, I read that story and I remember thinking, there's not going to be a backup plan. I am going to school to be a chemical engineer, and that is what I'm going to do. There's no backup plan. There's no plan B. I'm going to give it my all, and I'm going to just do it," right? And so that's what he did, and oh my God. So today's graduation. Today he is graduating from McNeese, and I could not be any more proud of this boy. He's 21 years old. He has a job at Citgo as a chemical engineer. But listen, people say to me, "You're so lucky. You're so lucky that you have 2 amazing boys." And listen, I'm lucky, I'm blessed, but we have, my husband and I, from the time they were babies, read to them, spoke to them, worked with them, had high expectations for them. We never missed school unless we were running fever. Like, we just didn't allow for excuses and whining and belly aching, and that's just not how we raised them. We raised them to be the absolute best versions of themselves. And I've always believed we get one life. God put us on this life to make a difference in this world and to be not ordinary and average, but to make a difference, to be productive members of society, and to have a purpose every single day. And so we worked with them from the time they were little babies. And then, of course, we worked even harder with them when they were turning into toddlers and then getting into school. And I remember when I was a 6th grade teacher, this was an epiphany for me. When I was a 6th grade teacher, I had this student one day that was misbehaving. And I said, listen, let's go to the office and call your mom. So I bring him down to the office, we call his mom, and I say, listen, such and such is just giving me hell in class, and he's not behaving, and I know he could be an honor roll student if he really paid attention and did the work and stop misbehaving in class. And she says, put him on the phone. And listen, he gets on the phone, and she is yelling at him so loud, he puts the phone away from his ear. And when she's done, he's crying. Now remember, this is a 6th grade boy who is probably, 12 or 13. He hands me the phone, and she says to me, Miss LeJeanne, you should not have another problem with this child for the rest of the year. And if you do, call me and I will be at that school in a minute. She said, I told him that if you tell him to get in the front of that classroom and shit BBs, he damn well better do it. And I remember thinking, that's the mom I'm going to be. When my kids go to school, they're going to know that that teacher is the queen of that castle, that she hung the moon, that she's in charge, and their job is to do what she tells them to do so that they can get the best education possible. And that is how we raised our children. Listen, teachers are not perfect, and they're going to make mistakes, but when they believe that that person is in charge of their destiny and they treat them that way, their education is a done deal, because they're not looking to make an excuse for if they fail or they don't do well. They know they are in charge of their destiny, and that person is going to help them get there. So that's always been our philosophy. And so that's how we raise them. And so there's no excuses. You know, anything you want that's worth having is going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy at all. And so for me, real estate, some people think it's hard. Listen, it probably is. It's not hard for me because I love work and I don't mind the challenge. And I love all the things that come along with it. I love the negotiations. I love meeting the people. I love helping solve problems. I love all the things. So for me, it's easy because I love doing it. But it does require consistency and hard work and motivation and all the things. So if you're thinking about going into something that's difficult or hard, this is what I say. Go all in. Don't just dip a pinky toe in it. Go all in. Don't have a backup plan. Decide you're going to do it and just go do it. It's as simple as that, right? Are there going to be challenges? Are there going to be hard days? Are there going to be days you want to quit? Absolutely. But if it's worth having, then it's worth putting in all the work to do it. Y'all have a great day. Be on the lookout because McNeese graduation is today, and I could not be any more prouder of my son than I am. So you're going to be seeing lots of pictures, lots of videos, lots of accolades. And congratulations to anyone else graduating from college today. That is absolutely no easy feat at all. Y'all have a great day. Take care.